Hello, Coach Concita here from ConcitaThomas.com. Today in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 very specific ways that fasting for spiritual growth helps me attain sustainable weight loss. In case you're unfamiliar with the practice of fasting, it's simply the act of giving up a certain type of food, or in some cases, all food, for a very specific time. The goal of that practice is to use that time to get closer to God. So you literally use that time or those moments when you really want to have the thing that you've committed to give up. When those moments come, you pray, you ask God for strength to resist what it is that you've committed to giving up. So the whole goal here is spiritual growth, closeness to God, and not necessarily weight loss. However, something got my attention. What I started to notice is that whenever I fasted for spiritual reasons, no matter what it was that I gave up or what the length of time was that I gave it up, my follow through was impeccable, much more so than when I was altering my eating habits for the purpose of changing my body or even for the purpose of health. Definitely the follow through was much greater when the reason behind my food changes were spiritual growth and closeness to God. Funny thing is, I noticed this and let plenty of time go by before I really explored what this could mean for me or even for my clients with helping attain sustainable weight loss. Not the type of weight loss where you lose a little bit, then gain it back and struggle to follow through. However, something happened with one of my clients that brought this connection between sustainable weight loss and fasting for spiritual growth right back to the forefront of my mind. And honestly, what happened with her made me look a lot more closely into where these two were connected and how I could use them in my own journey. Here's what happened. I ran an 8-week transformation challenge for my clients, and one of my clients who really struggled with follow through when it came to her food decided to sign up and join the challenge. And the thing was, not only did she follow through, not only did she finish the challenge, she was so on point that she lost 29 pounds in that 8 weeks. And the thing that really got my attention is she didn't do anything crazy with her exercise. She pretty much stayed with the same exercise routine that she had before. So it was clear to me that the food made the difference, and I was super curious about what lit her fire this time and what enabled her to follow through so well when that had been such a struggle before. So I asked her, what happened? What did you do differently this time? How were you able to follow through so well? And she was very transparent and shared with me, well, the thing that I did differently this time is that I asked God to help me. I didn't just follow the food strategies that you gave us for the sake of following them and for the sake of losing weight. I committed to following those strategies. I committed to giving up certain things as a commitment to God. And I made that commitment to God, and I treated this transformation more like a fast than like a transformation challenge. Whoa, that was a huge light bulb moment for me, because I already knew in my own life and in my own journey that I was way more consistent with following through with food changes when it was for spiritual reasons. And seeing that connection for someone else and the tremendous difference that it made me really look at why I was able to follow through so well when I was doing fasting for spiritual growth, and how I could possibly transfer some of those same things over to my food changes when it came to changing my food for other goals. 3 specific ways that fasting for spiritual growth can help you develop skills that you can carry over into your weight loss journey. So number 1 is fasting for spiritual growth. You can probably guess this one already, gives you a cause. It gives you a very strong why. I don't know about you, but if I'm changing my food just to fit a certain pair of jeans or just to drop a certain amount of pounds, it gets really easy in those moment-to-moment decisions to justify actions that don't really help me reach the goal. And it's not that the goal isn't important or that I've changed my mind, but it's just really easy to convince myself that I can go ahead and have this indulgence and still reach my goal by either being more strict with my food later, or just clamping down more consistently for a certain amount of days, or maybe even doing extra workouts. I know that's something that a lot of people use that rationalization. But here's the thing. First of all, we know it doesn't really happen that way. When you have that indulgence, it's not the last one that will ever tempt you. More and more come, and more often than not, you practice giving in, and that's what we continue to do, and thus struggle to hit the goal. However, when I fast for spiritual reasons, the goal isn't something that's gonna happen, down the line. It's something that happens in those moments that I choose to stick to my commitment. So having a cause that's not just a pair of jeans, having a cause that is an in-the-moment cause to get closer to God, to stick to my commitment, definitely helps when it comes to sustainable weight loss, because you need a reason bigger than a pair of jeans in order to follow through in those tiny daily decisions that you may have to make again and again. So number two, second way that fasting for spiritual growth helps with developing the skills that you need for sustainable weight loss is that it helps you to make a commitment. So many times we make a commitment to lose a certain amount of weight or to fit a certain size jeans or things like that, but we're a little bit soft on the commitment about what we will do in order to attain the goal. So I often joke and say that, maybe is the mother of all sabotage. So maybe I'll do that workout in the morning means that I'm not going to really do it unless nothing else better comes up and I happen to be awake. Maybe I'm not going to have any dessert at the party coming up means that unless it's just something I'm allergic to, I'm probably going to have it. Maybe is the thing that we use to give ourselves a way out. We make so many decisions during the day without a firm commitment to what we're doing, the actions, not just the results. But without a firm commitment to the actions for a specific amount of time, we really wear ourselves out unnecessarily with decision making. Just think of all the moment-to-moment decisions that you make when you don't have a firm commitment. Do I dip my hand in the candy jar on my coworker's desk as I pass it? Do I have the donuts in the morning meeting even though I don't even want them? Do I add the chips to my lunch? There's just so many moment-to-moment decisions. And when you practice having a commitment, a firm commitment on what you will and won't do for a specific amount of time, it may sound like it's restricting, but it's actually very freeing because you don't have to make those decisions. And when you fast for spiritual growth, you have very specific commitment around what you will and won't do, and a very specific commitment around the time frame. And that carries over to creating sustainable weight loss. The third and final way that fasting for spiritual growth has helped me personally when it comes to achieving sustainable weight loss is it gives me consistency with practice of managing impulses. I don't have to tell you, we've talked about the examples. There are just so many opportunities, especially if you live in America. There's so many opportunities on a daily basis to just indulge in things. We're presented with food choices all the time. Food is abundant for a lot of people in this country, and we have access to it a lot for a lot of the time. So there's the impulse to just have things even when you're not hungry or didn't really want them. And there's a difference between impulse and hunger, right? So impulse comes because maybe you see something or you think of it and you think, I should get that. It's not the same as hunger or craving. The problem is that often we follow those impulses 99% of the time, and at the end of the day, we end up eating all types of things and in all types of amounts that we didn't intend to and that don't really help us reach our goal. However, when I fast for spiritual growth, I get a chance to really practice managing those impulses by either distracting myself and doing something else or just sitting there with the impulse, feeling it and letting it pass. And the reason why I get that practice is because I have a cause, which is growing closer to God, and I have a commitment, what I will and won't eat for a certain amount of time. So that allows me the consistency and practice with managing impulses. When the fast is over, my new habit when an impulse strikes is not to just follow it mindlessly, but to either distract myself, sit with it and let it pass, or at least analyze it and decide whether or not I really want this thing, rather than just going with the flow immediately. I hope this has been helpful. These are the 3 specific ways that fasting for spiritual growth has helped me with attaining sustainable weight loss. Now, you may be wondering, exactly how do I do this, Concita? Like, do I just give up all food? Or there are a lot of different ways to fast, and I actually have prepared for you 3 ways that I have personally found most beneficial to fast, that have the most carryover for sustainable weight loss. And all you have to do is request that video right here below. If you're watching this on the blog, there's a little yellow button. You can click that into your name and email address, and you'll get access to that video right away. If you've enjoyed this video and it was helpful for you, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Until then, stay fierce.